House Bill 2254 relating to Native Hawaiian sailing canoes. First, we have testimony and support from the Department of Land and Natural Resources, Division of Boating and Ocean Recreation. Mr. Ed Underwood, please proceed.
Good morning, Chair Tarnas, Vice Chair Bronco, committee members. Ed Underwood, Administrator with the Division of Boating and Ocean Recreation. The department stands on its testimony in support of this measure, and we're here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much. Next, we have testimony in writing from Hawaii County Office of the Mayor in support. Testimony in writing from Richard Kirsten, Sea Paradise Scuba. Testimony in support from Puhi Dant. Testimony in opposition from Clifford Niole, Puhi Ova'a Kaulua. Testimony in opposition from Bonnie Kahapea Tanner. Is Bonnie Tanner available?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning. Good
Please
morning,
proceed.
Chair, members of the committee. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Bonnie Kahapea Tanner, and I'm the Executive Director of Kanehunamoku Voyaging Academy. We're a small nonprofit. Our mission is to perpetuate the knowledge of traditional Hawaiian navigation and to provide opportunities to students to advance in contemporary ocean-based careers through academic, college, and career support. We're in strong opposition to this bill. We have a 29-foot double-hull sailing canoe with a 9.9 horsepower engine. This bill, as presented, will completely eliminate our ability to use our state harbors for temporary or permanent mooring, thus limiting our ability to serve the community and provide opportunities to our students to learn valuable life skills and Hawaiian culture. We're one of only a handful of organizations operating Hawaiian sailing canoe programs. And my question is, why were our organizations not approached about this proposed amendment? And why is this being proposed, and who does this benefit? Why is the language limiting the definition of Hawaiian canoes being changed to Hawaiian sailing canoes of more than 60 feet? So we have a lot of questions about this, and it appears that this is targeting a certain group of people, and it's not looking at a statewide issue. And of course, the state government is required to support the perpetuation of Hawaiian culture. And we see this as a direct limitation against Hawaiian sailing canoe programs, which are, again, trying to promote and also work with youth and build up our community. So we have a lot of questions about this. So as it stands now, we're in direct opposition. And we had a very robust conversation going on last night via some email and text threads. So I know there's many more than just me today who is in opposition. So we'd like to come to the table and offer our expertise and things that we can do to figure out why this is even being proposed and how we can move forward. So thank you very much. Mahalo.
Mahalo for your mana'o. Next, we have Nakalewa'a, Chad Paishan, but I see Pomai Bertelman. Pomai, would you like to provide testimony?
Really quickly, my name is Pomai Bertelman. I'm the board president of Nakalewa'a Moku Keawe and a member of Ohana Wa'a. This morning, I strongly oppose the language of this House bill, and would like to offer this mana'o to all of you. Hewa hemoku, hemoku hewa, the canoe is the island is the canoe, is a way by which we're able to work together and accomplish much because we all see the same vision. Our work is grounded in the foundations of the 54-foot double-hulled sailing canoe makali, whose life force weaves the blending of knowing and interdependence that is shared between ocean and Aina. I come here again today representing myself, Nakalaiwa and Makali Ohana. We're in strong opposition of Bill 2254 in its current read and current state. In its current form, the language of this bill would adversely impact Hawaii's canoe culture and our abilities to operate and function within small boat harbors. The initial statute upon which this bill seeks to amend was drafted with the intent of honoring and perpetuating the traditions and values of all Wa'akaulua, our training practices, and the educational foundation that these canoes support. I come to all of you with much aloha and say thank you for hearing and understanding our concerns in regards to its current form. Ke aloha nui, aloha.
Mahalo, Pomai. Good to see you. Thank you for your good work. Next, we have written testimony in opposition from Rebecca Inaba, Laiopua 2020, Patrick Kahavaio'ola'a with Keaukaha Community Association, testimony in opposition from two individuals with Hui o Kaulua, Ha'ana'akala Tanaka, Timothy Gilliam, and also testimony in opposition from Maleko Lorenzo. We have testimony written written testimony in support from Melinda Dant and Bill Murtaugh. We have testimony in opposition from Philomer Batangan. Is Philomer Batangan here?
Mahalo nui. My name is actually Philomer Felicitas. I'm a member of Ohana Va'a testifying against HB 2254. Va'a Kaulua have been around longer than you and I. Depending on where you are in Polynesia, they're called Waka Va'a, and they all represent the rich history and culture of Native Hawaiians and the strength and knowledge of Polynesia. Indigenous culture and enriching our community should not have to be accommodated. It should be made a priority. To limit these voyaging organizations' ability to continue and share practice this ancestral knowledge by limiting the amount of Va'a Kaulua in a harbor and the amount of time they have in the harbor is also limiting the ability of these organizations to maintain and sustain this practice. Further, the limitation of the accommodation of these Va'a to only those that are non-motorized and longer than 60 feet effectively eliminates the accommodation of most Va'a Kaulua in Hawaii. I also want to touch on how interesting it is that Native Hawaiian sailing canoes are defined as such in HB 2254. This limits access for smaller Va'a and organizations who are doing similar amazing work around the islands. And I also deeply oppose the required annual report that is rudely being asked for organizations in order to prove their value to our community. Mahalo and salamat for your time.
Mahalo. Next. House Bill 2254, relating to Native Hawaiian sailing canoes. I've discussed this with the introducer of the bill. She meant no disrespect for the very important community of Native Hawaiian voyaging canoes, sailing canoes, motorized or not. It's a very important part of our heritage, and she certainly meant no disrespect by introducing this bill. It was merely to address an issue that has come up in other small boat harbors. This bill is not ready yet to move forward. So with her concurrence, I am deferring this measure and encouraging the Department of Land and Natural Resources, Division of Boating and Ocean Recreation to work with the introducer and the sailing community, the Native Hawaiian sailing canoe community, to figure out a path forward that could resolve the conflicts this had sought to solve, but doesn't. So I leave it back to you. We're deferring the bill, and perhaps we can address this issue in the future.